Here's why I'm engine swapping my Camaro. This is my 1983 Chevy Camaro equipped with the LG4 and a 5-speed manual transmission. But recently, it's been starting to give me a couple issues. First, ever since I bought this car, it's been blowing a little bit of smoke upon startup. That means the valve seals are starting to go. Now, it's not a big issue, but in order to fix it, you could either go ahead and take the heads off, rebuild them, or you're gonna have to do some complicated process of putting air in the cylinder, compressing the spring, it's not worth it. Also, the carburetor is starting to have gremlins. This thing is an electronic quadrajet. It is basically a quadrajet with an ECU. It's kind of troublesome. If you can get them running right, they're great. If you don't get them running right, they can be a pain in the ass to diagnose. Now in my case, it's been starting to leak a little bit of gas. It's no big deal, but recently it's been running really rich. And I've been trying to diagnose why. The little electronically actuated needle and seat in there is starting to fail. That's what's going on with this motor. So what does that mean? This carburetor needs a complete rebuild, and that's not worth it. You're better off going with a normal quadrajet. Now I do plan on swapping this out for a normal quadrajet at some point, but the problem is I still have a leaky engine that is leaking oil internally and externally. Now yes, I could go ahead and do everything. I could do heads, cam, carburetor, intake, top end stuff. But the problem is, this thing is still an LG4. I would need new pistons and new rods to go ahead and get a decent compression ratio, since the stock ones sit in the hole about 20 thou. And if I'm rebuilding an engine, I might as well keep this engine going with a different carburetor and build something like a 350 or a 400 for it. That way, this engine could stay in this car, it's running and driving, and I'm doing the same amount of work to a 400 horsepower motor instead of doing it to something that's only going to make 200 to 250. It's roughly the same amount of work, the same amount of money, and I get to keep my car running. And all you guys commenting saying, hey, the transmission is going to give out, the rear end is too weak, that stuff is getting changed anyways. I want a car that could keep up with more modern cars and also get the same daily drivability and the same fuel economy. A mild 350 with a T56 and the right rear gear, and this package will probably get about 25 to 30 miles per gallon and be able to do about 170 miles an hour. I want a small block Chevy underneath the hood so it's easy to work on, easy to get parts, and cheap. And since the exterior is going to stay basically the same with the exception of 17 or 18 inch IROCs, you're not going to be able to tell when you open that hood that it's making 400 horsepower. But if we do get to the point where this car could possibly be making 600 or 700 horsepower in the future, maybe I outgrow the small block, maybe then I'll put an LS motor in this thing. But until then, this thing's staying with a small block Chevy regardless of what the comment section says. But anyways, if this was your car, how would you handle this? Would you go ahead and throw something like a 6-liter and a 4L60E in this thing? Or would you just keep driving it stock while just upgrading the little things that it needs? This car's completely stock. It's a blank canvas. What would you do to it? But if you want to see this thing start keeping up with RTs and 5-liter cars, please make sure to like, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will see you in the next video.